The U16 team, I remember they always talk about the senior national team, and obviously that's every young girl's dream when you're on those teams. And they talk a lot about that team, and only like one or two of us was ever probably going to be able to get a call up to be on the team, or let alone be able to get a call up to come and be a part of the camp and be around the tremendous players that they have had on their teams over the course of the many years and the many gold medals that they've won. And so I think
Look at those shots. Look at that form. Paige Bueckers is out here looking like a young Diana Taurasi, and that's not hyperbole. That mid-range game is absolutely lethal. But here's what nobody's talking about while everyone's watching the highlight reels from Durham, North Carolina. The engagement numbers from day one of Team USA training camp were surprisingly low. And that's raising some serious questions about where women's basketball actually stands right now.
Have been waiting for is officially here, guys. Now, the results from yesterday was decent, you know what I'm saying? But I would have liked it to see more engagement. I would like to see more fanfare. So the views and the engagement that was coming out across the board with the entire WNBA announcement of this Team USA was kind of low. Now, I'm going to be monitoring this whole situation throughout the duration of this offseason. I feel as if the excitement for women's basketball is definitely at a decline. Now, Caitlin Clark is back. Now, we just got a measure of how many people is still interested in wanting to watch women.
So, the results from yesterday were decent, but the fanfare wasn't there. The views across social media, the engagement on the official WNBA accounts announcing this Team USA roster were kind of low, and we need to talk about what that means. Because just a few months ago, we were watching Caitlin Clark pull 3 million viewers for regular season games. The hype was at an all-time high. Now, it's noticeably down. The question is whether we're seeing a natural off-season dip, or if something bigger is happening with the women's basketball audience.
At the U16 team, I remember they always talk about the senior national team, and obviously that's every young girl's dream when you're on those teams. And they talk a lot about that team, and only like one or two of us was ever probably going to be able to get a call up to be on the team, or let alone be able to get a call up to come and be a part of the camp and be around the tremendous players that they have had on their teams over the course of the many years and the many gold medals that they've won. And so I think for myself, like, that's kind of what you start thinking about, is like how long I've kind of been involved in USA basketball and the journey that it's been. I've been on teams, and then I've had moments where I've been cut and I haven't been on teams, so you experience all of it. And I think that also speaks to how great USA basketball is and how dominant they are. Like, there's so many amazing players that have been a part of it and have worn the 3 letters across their chest. And, for me, you never take that for granted. So I'm super excited to be back here.
There she is, Caitlin Clark, talking about her journey with USA basketball, going all the way back to the U16 team. She's talking about how only 1 or 2 players from those youth teams ever get the call up to the senior national team. She's been cut before. She's experienced both sides of it. And you can hear the genuine appreciation in her voice for being back in this position. But while Caitlin's giving all the right answers about being grateful and excited, there's an elephant in the room that affects whether any of this matters. The CBA negotiations are still ongoing, and we don't even know definitively if there's going to be a 2025 season. Think about that for a second. We're watching Team USA prepare for international competition, while the league itself might not exist in its current form next year.
She looked damn good. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. She looked like a young Diana Taurasi, bro. That mid-range shot she got is nasty. She looked hella good, y'all. I ain't gonna never ish on Paige, because I know, like, a lot of people might want to, bro. A lot of people be wanting to pin her against Caitlin and stuff, but she looked.
Paige Bueckers really does look incredible in these clips. That shooting stroke is pure. And it's interesting, because a lot of people want to create this rivalry narrative between her and Caitlin Clark. But what we're actually seeing here is 2 elite talents who are going to make this Team USA roster absolutely dominant. The real story from day 2 in Durham is about depth. You've got Aaliyah Boston looking polished. You've got Paige shooting lights out. You've got Angel bringing that intensity. This isn't just about one player anymore, and maybe that's part of why the engagement is different. When Caitlin was carrying the fever through the WNBA season, there was this singular narrative everyone could follow. Now, we're in a phase where the talent is spread out, and the casual fan might not know where to focus their attention.
USA Sonia Citron. She really do kind of look like Caitlin Clark. I ain't gonna lie. They definitely kind of favor each other. Who is that? You got Angel Reese on there. Is that Chris Brinkley? So this is some of the videos that came out today. Let me see if I can blow this up. Aaliyah Boston. This is so great.
Sonia Citron really does favor Caitlin Clark a little bit. But more importantly, look at the roster composition here. You've got multiple generations of talent. You've got veterans who've been through Olympic cycles before. You've got rookies who just finished their first WNBA season, and you've got college stars like Paige, who are about to make the jump. The media presence in Durham is significant. Leslie Perlman from ESPN is there. Amy Costello from The Athletic is there. Annie Costabelli is posting footage. The access is real, and the content is flowing. So it's not a media coverage problem. The reporters are doing their jobs. The question is whether the audience that showed up for Caitlin Clark during the WNBA season is going to show up for Team USA basketball in the offseason.
All there. Here goes some more clips here. Now, this one right here is from Annie Costabile. Let's see this one here.
That third possibility is what makes the CBA negotiations so critical right now. The WNBA just had its best season ever in terms of viewership. Caitlin Clark was a massive part of that. But if the league can't capitalize on this momentum because of a work stoppage, or if the players and owners can't agree on how to split the new revenue, then all of this growth could stall out. The players want a higher percentage of basketball-related income. They want better travel conditions. They want the league to invest more in marketing. The owners are pointing to the fact that the WNBA still operates at a loss. Even with the increased viewership, they're arguing that the new media rights deal with Disney, Amazon, and NBC needs time to actually generate profit before they can commit to higher salaries. And here's where it gets complicated. The new media rights deal is worth $2.2 billion over 11 years. That's about $200 million per year, which is a massive increase from the current deal. But the players are looking at NBA comparables and saying that's still not enough. They're asking why women's basketball should accept a smaller piece of the pie when they're generating real ratings and real revenue now.
No, I definitely feel like Team USA basketball is going to win it all. I don't think no other team in the world is better than them. I just got to keep it real. I know some people might think otherwise because they're not from our country, but I feel like Team USA basketball look hella good, and they're definitely going to be putting the beats on teams, bro. It's just that simple. Our team is just so much better. We're just so much better.
Team USA is going to dominate. That's not really a question. The talent gap between the United States and every other country in women's basketball is still substantial. But the more interesting question is whether this international competition is going to recapture the attention that the WNBA season generated. Because here's what the viewership data from the WNBA season actually showed. Caitlin Clark's games averaged over 1 million viewers consistently. Games without her dropped to the league's traditional baseline of around 400,000. That's a significant difference, and it suggests that while the WNBA grew overall, a lot of that growth was tied specifically to one player's drawing power. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Every league has transcendent stars who bring in casual fans. Michael Jordan did it for the NBA. Tiger Woods did it for golf. Serena Williams did it for tennis. The question is whether the WNBA can convert those Caitlin Clark fans into WNBA fans more broadly in the offseason. That's the test. Let's talk about what happens if the CBA negotiations fall apart. The current collective bargaining agreement expires after the 2025 season, but both sides can opt out earlier if they want. The players have been vocal about their dissatisfaction with travel conditions, salary structures, and revenue sharing. The owners have been vocal about the financial realities of running a league that's still building its audience. If there's a work stoppage, even a short one, it would be devastating for momentum. The WNBA just signed that massive media rights deal. They just had their best ratings ever. They just proved that women's basketball can draw a mainstream audience. Walking away from that momentum over a labor dispute would be catastrophic, but the players have legitimate grievances. They're flying commercial while generating millions in revenue. They're staying in middle-tier hotels while NBA players get luxury accommodations. They're making six-figure salaries while their male counterparts make millions. And they're being asked to be grateful for incremental improvements when they believe they deserve transformational change. The owners, meanwhile, are looking at balance sheets that still show losses. They're pointing out that the increased revenue from the media rights deal doesn't kick in immediately. They're arguing that the league needs financial stability before it can commit to massive salary increases. They're worried that if they give the players everything they're asking for right now, the league won't be sustainable long-term. So, where does that leave us? Team USA training camp continues in Durham. The players are preparing for international competition. The media is covering it. The content is being created, but the engagement numbers suggest that the casual audience isn't fully locked in yet, and that brings us back to the fundamental question about women's basketball right now. Was the WNBA's record-breaking season a turning point for the league, or was it a Caitlin Clark phenomenon that won't necessarily translate to sustained growth? The answer probably lies somewhere in between. But the off-season viewership patterns are going to tell us a lot. If Team USA games generate strong ratings when they start playing actual competition, that's a good sign. It means the audience is there for high-level women's basketball, not just for one player. If the ratings are disappointing, that's a warning sign. It means the league needs to figure out how to market itself beyond relying on Caitlin's star power. The CBA negotiations are happening against this backdrop of uncertainty. The players want to strike while the iron is hot. They want to capitalize on the momentum from this season and secure significant improvements to their working conditions and compensation. The owners want to be cautious. They want to make sure the growth is sustainable before committing to financial obligations they might not be able to meet. Both sides have valid points. Both sides have legitimate concerns, and both sides need to find a way to reach an agreement that allows the league to continue operating, because a work stoppage right now would waste all the progress that's been made. Watch how this plays out over the next few months. Watch whether Team USA basketball generates the kind of engagement that the WNBA season did. Watch whether the casual fans who discovered women's basketball through Caitlin Clark stick around for the broader product. Watch whether the CBA negotiations result in a deal that satisfies both players and owners, or whether we're heading for a confrontation that could derail everything, because the stakes here are higher than they've ever been. The WNBA has a real opportunity to establish itself as a major professional sports league, but that opportunity comes with risk. And how the league handles this moment is going to determine whether we look back on 2024 as the year women's basketball broke through, or as the year it peaked before falling back to earth. So, what do you think? Are you still engaged with women's basketball now that the WNBA season is over? Are you going to watch Team USA compete internationally? Do you think the players or the owners are right about the CBA negotiations? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this conversation is just getting started.